folks! This is part 2 on my two-part series on the split attraction model. If you haven't watched part 1 and you're unfamiliar with the split attraction model, I suggest you go back and watch that first, because in this video I will simply be talking about the pros and cons. There's a link to that video in the description. Okay, so I'm going to actually start with what I hinted at the end of the last video, which are the problems that have emerged with the split attraction model. The first problem with the split attraction model is that it's not actually that black and white. It can be incredibly difficult to separate out romantic and sexual attraction, particularly if your romantic and sexual orientations are the same. Asexual people, obviously, have a little bit of an easier time of it, and I feel like we sometimes forget that for most people it's not so clear-cut. Also, the split attraction model gives you a longer identifier. You can't just say, "Hi, I'm Amelia and I'm bi." You have to say, "Hi, I'm Amelia and I am asexual biromantic," which opens you up to a whole host of special snowflake comments and these arguments about millennials with these big complex identities. But that's only the surface level concerns. To get down into the meat of the problem with the split attraction model, you need to delve down into ace discourse. In short, the split attraction model works on the basis that labels like pansexual, bisexual and heterosexual are exclusively about sexual attraction, or if you want to expand it, sexual activity. And for LGB people who have done a whole lot of activism on stopping people associating being gay or being bi with solely being sexual, it's a bit of a problem, as you can imagine, because it kind of re-sexualizes those labels. When someone says, "I'm bisexual," they're saying, "I fall in love with multiple genders, I date multiple genders, I have sex with multiple genders." They're not saying, "I specifically am sexually attracted to multiple genders." The other issue is because the split attraction model uses the prefixes of existing sexual orientations, words like homosexual, which the gay community are trying to distance themselves from, are used constantly, often by people who aren't actually gay. Now, I am not gay myself, and I don't fully understand the history of the word homosexual being used as a word to oppress gay people, but I know there is one, and I know that a lot of gay people don't like the word. So the split attraction model forces them to come into contact with it, or to come into contact with homo-romantic, which to a lot of them is no better. So those are the negatives, and now I'm going to talk about the pros. The main reason to use the split attraction model is that it's basically essential to any asexual person who isn't also aromantic, or any aromantic person who isn't also asexual. There isn't an easy equivalent that you can use. The split attraction model allows asexuality to be its own sexual orientation. The argument has been made that asexuality is a modifier. It's about how you experience sexual attraction. So if I'm asexual and biromantic, I'm actually a bisexual girl who doesn't experience sexual attraction. Like the fact I don't experience sexual attraction isn't part of my orientation. But the fact I don't experience attraction, to me, is crucial to how I see myself, and it's a crucial part of my identity, so I want asexuality to be a sexual orientation, because it's a label I apply to myself. It's not just a modifier to me being bi. The fact I'm asexual is just as important as the fact I'm bi. That's, for me, the main reason I use the split attraction model. It's that it allows my two orientations, bi and ace, to be of equal importance. It doesn't make one a modifier to the other. The other important reason to use the split attraction model is it separates out asexual and aromantic people. If you don't use the split attraction model and you say that it doesn't exist, then you're also saying that everyone is sexually attracted to the same people they are romantically attracted to, by which argument romantic asexual people cannot exist, and all asexual people must also be aromantic, which just isn't true. So where do we go from here? Because people have very legitimate concerns with the split attraction model, and to shout them down and say that these concerns aren't real just doesn't get you anywhere. The response is that no one should use the split attraction model, which obviously can't work either because it's so essential for asexual and aromantic people. And I don't have an easy answer here, But what I think is that asexual and aromantic people need to listen to the complaints of non-asexual and aromantic people who have a problem with the split attraction model. We need to think as a community of an alternative to our method of using an existing prefix and adding it to a new suffix. Because if people don't like the term homosexual, they're not going to like the term homoromantic, and just arguing that we need those terms isn't a good reason to carry on using a word that we're being told to stop using. We need to make sure that use of the split attraction model is always a personal choice. We cannot force it on other people, particularly if they don't personally have a distinction between their sexual and romantic desires. We need to understand that although it might be useful for us, it can be constraining for other people, as is the same to all labels, and we shouldn't force those labels on someone who doesn't want them. I think it's a discussion worth having, and I don't think the answer to the issues with the split attraction model is to stop using it entirely, or to carry on using it as we are now. I think over time we need to come up with a new way of interpreting it and maybe find some new words to use, because I think that's a lot of the problem. And I personally am going to carry on using it because it's the only way I have to explain my own identity. But I am going to be careful with my language use, and I'm not going to say that everyone has a romantic and a sexual orientation, which is something I have said in the past. But what do you think? Because I'm only one person, and this is definitely a topic which is worth discussing. So if you would want to leave a comment with your thoughts, I'd be very, very grateful. But let's not send this into a screaming match, okay? We're all capable of discussing this maturely. Okay, bye!
I had a very quick question.
What?
Why?
What am I filming? Why?
No. Why should we not use a split model?
I'm not saying we shouldn't use the split model, I'm saying we should.
Oh, we should. Why should we use the split model?
Oh my god, watch the video.
Okay, I'll watch the video.
Because I've been filming for 20 minutes, so it's complicated!